The Honest Merchant. A Tale of Integrity. In the bustling town of Willowbrook, there was a market where traders from all over came to sell their goods. Among the many merchants, there was a young man named Ferris who owned a modest stall. He sold spices, herbs, and other small items, and though his stall wasn't the largest or the most extravagant, Ferris was known for one thing above all: his honesty. Ferris had learned from his father, a humble merchant before him, that in business, honesty was the most important value. "Always weigh the scales fairly, Ferris," his father had told him. "Your reputation is worth more than gold, and once trust is broken, it is harder to rebuild than the tallest tower." Following his father's advice, Ferris always made sure his customers got exactly what they paid for. If someone bought a bag of saffron, he would carefully measure the weight, ensuring not a grain less than promised. If a customer had a problem with the quality of an item, Ferris would refund them or replace it without hesitation. Other merchants in the market noticed Ferris's way of doing business. Some admired him, while others thought he was foolish. One merchant named Malik, who had the largest stall in the market, often mocked Ferris for being too soft. "You're too honest, Ferris," Malik would say with a smirk. "You could make so much more money if you cut corners like the rest of us. Mix in a little cheaper spice with the expensive ones. No one will notice. After all, business is about making a profit." Ferris would simply smile and reply, "A profit made dishonestly isn't a profit worth having." While Malik and others cut corners to maximize their earnings, Ferris continued to conduct his business with integrity. Over time, customers began to notice the difference. Word spread that Ferris could be trusted, and more people started coming to his stall, knowing they would always get a fair deal. One day, a wealthy traveler named Alim visited the market. He was searching for spices to take back to his far-off homeland, where they were scarce and highly valued. Alim stopped at Malik's large, impressive stall first. "Good day, merchant," Alim greeted Malik. "I've heard much about Willowbrook's spices. I need the finest quality for my journey." Malik, ever eager to make a large sale, smiled and quickly began showing Alim his best-looking spices. "These are the finest you'll find in the market," Malik said, though he had mixed in cheaper spices to increase his profit. "I'll give you a special price since you've traveled so far." Alim examined the spices carefully, but was unsure. He sensed something wasn't quite right, though he couldn't put his finger on it. Thanking Malik, he decided to browse the rest of the market before making his decision. As Alim walked through the market, he came across Ferris's small, humble stall. Ferris, busy weighing a bag of cinnamon for a customer, looked up and greeted the traveler with a warm smile. "Welcome, sir." "How may I help you today?" Ferris asked. Alim explained that he was looking for high-quality spices and asked to see what Ferris had. Instead of exaggerating or making grand promises, Ferris simply showed Alim his wares and explained each one honestly. "This is the saffron, weighed exactly as you see. It's not the cheapest, but I assure you, it's pure and of the best quality. And here's my black pepper, harvested this season, with no fillers or substitutes." Alim inspected the spices and noticed the genuine care and attention Ferris gave to his goods. He could tell that what Ferris sold was exactly what he promised. After a moment of thought, Alim smiled. "You are an honest man, Ferris," he said. "I can see it in your work and the way you treat your customers. I will buy from you." Ferris humbly thanked Alim and carefully packed the spices for his long journey. Alim paid a generous price and left, promising to return the next time he traveled through Willowbrook. As the weeks passed, word of Alim's encounter with Ferris spread far and wide. People from neighboring towns began to visit the market, seeking out Ferris for his reputation as an honest merchant. His small stall grew busier and busier, while Malik, though still successful, began to lose some of his wealthier customers. One day, Malik confronted Ferris, frustration in his voice. "How is it that your small stall has become more popular than mine?" he demanded. "You don't have the variety or the flashy presentation. What's your secret?" Ferris smiled kindly and said, "There's no secret, Malik. It's simple. I treat my customers with respect and honesty. People know that when they buy from me, they're getting what they pay for. Trust is the foundation of my business." Malik scoffed but said nothing more. Deep down, he knew Ferris was right. But it was difficult for him to change his ways after so many years of cutting corners. Years passed, and Ferris's reputation only grew. He never expanded his stall or boasted about his success, but he earned enough to live comfortably, and his customers remained loyal. The market continued to thrive, but people always remembered Ferris as the merchant they could trust without question. In the end, it wasn't the size of Ferris's stall or the volume of his sales that made him successful. It was his honesty, his commitment to fairness, and his belief that true wealth comes from doing business with integrity. While others may have grown rich quickly through dishonesty, it was Ferris who earned the most valuable currency of all, trust and respect. And so, the lesson of the honest merchant was passed down from generation to generation. Doing business honestly may not always bring the quickest rewards, but it builds a foundation that no storm can shake.